What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody, back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP daily rap video after a day of, well, I guess trying new things, experimenting, as Phil likes to say, and more indie night. That's right, our boy Phil is trying to find something that will stick, something that he won't have to wage quit after a day or two, or after a stream or two. And apparently it's just not working out for our poor guy. So like I said, 2026 is the year of gimmicks, and Phil is trying to settle on a new gimmick. He seems to be a little erratic, though. He seems to be bouncing around from gimmick to gimmick. I guess now the new gimmick is wage quitting. That's right. He basically, the meta for his business is going to be wage quitting and making sure that everyone's okay with it. I mean, not that he should be criticized for wage quitting almost every game, but he should actually be praised for having the forethought and the insight and the fortitude of wage quitting games when the dents don't support. So let's hear Phil praise himself for doing great work and finding a new business model.
Allow me to just say that my choice this year to do things differently, to branch out and do a wider variety of games, to basically pivot from game to game, trying new things, new premieres, first looks, indie games, big high priority games, games that drop out of nowhere. This is working splendidly. Let's talk about how today went, because it went really well. All right. So first off, today.
Well, first off, what I'm going to say here is, yeah, I think it's perfectly fine to adjust on the fly and not be so rigid like you always are. But again, I don't see any adjusting on the fly. The only adjusting on the fly we're seeing is that if someone doesn't support your stream or your stream doesn't get supported, you stop the game and then do something else. I mean, okay, but I mean, you're not taking any initial forethought to think about what your viewers might think or might like. For example, why don't you fire up a stream, play it a little bit before your stream or the day before, right? And then say to yourself, you know what? I like this game and I think my viewers would like it. Let me play. No, you don't do that. What you do is you leave it up to a committee. And I'm sorry, anything done through committee never works out. I'm sorry. I mean, it's fine to get consensus from time to time, to listen to people's opinions, but ultimately, Phil, you need to make the decision. You're the one that has to do the research. You're the one that has to figure out what isn't a troll comment, what isn't a troll bait, what isn't LARPing, and what your viewers truly like. Let's be honest here, folks. What he's doing is he's trying to curtail his streams and he's trying to be a curated content creator again. And what he's doing is he's making sure that he's playing the games that his whales like. That's really what it is. But of course he can't say that. He has to play these stupid ass games, with everyone and use semantics to justify what he's doing. Everybody knows what you're doing, Phil. You're playing a game, and if it doesn't bring any money in, you're gonna wage quit it and you're gonna move on to another game. That's essentially what it is. That's not a business model, Phil. That's someone who lacks to prepare. That's someone who isn't entertaining. I mean, how many people were playing High Guard yesterday and made bank, even though the game was straight garbage? It was straight garbage. I played it for 10 minutes and I quit the game because it was super boring. But how many other content creators played the game and made tons of cash because they were entertaining, something that you were not? Again, Phil, it's like what's the phrase? There's a saying about it. It's like rearranging the chairs on the Titanic. Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, it sets a nice mood. But ultimately, the Titanic's going to hit an iceberg, crash, and thousands of people are going to die. Right, Phil? So it really doesn't matter where the hell you position those chairs. You gotta really, honestly, Phil. I'm taking the detractor away from Doody. I'm taking my detractor hat off, and I'm trying to give you solid advice, brother. Look at yourself and look at what you're providing, brother. What you're providing isn't it. You're not entertaining. And again, you're still going off on detractors. I got 2 clips yesterday of you raging and going off on detractors last night. Apparently, the Argentinian detractors and that one guy that creates 1,000 subs comes out and started attacking your channel. What did you do? You spent your first 15 minutes of your stream, basically trying to stamp out cockroaches, for lack of a better word. Or herd cats. That's a little bit better. You were trying to herd cats. And it's just a waste. And all that does is just give fodder to the raw Phil chat. It gives fodder to your LARPers. And yeah, when you can ultimately just ignore it. just fucking ignore it or run with it. You know what I mean? Run with it, own it, and run with the meme. But everything Phil does seems to be the wrong choice, and I love it. I truly love it because again, it's more content for detractors. It's more content for everyone. So yeah, so that's my thought on it. Phil, honestly, taking the detractor hat away from me, you really need to get serious about how boring you are, and you just need to become entertaining. And you could work at it, Phil. You could work at it. I mean, try being more. Try what's the word? Deprecating. Be deprecating. You know what I mean? Own it. Everyone thinks that you're a weirdo. Everyone thinks that you're an alien. Just own it, brother. Own it. Laugh at it. Don't rage. Don't attack detractors every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Don't say stupid stuff like you're successful when someone makes fun of you. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's like someone bragging, that they make $100,000 when a group of people are just mocking and laughing at them. Yeah, and so what? You make $100,000, but you're still an idiot, right? All right, let's keep going, folks.
Today was the release of High Guard, the game that dropped out of nowhere from this company. I don't know if they're called Wildlight Studios or something like that. All former devs who used to work at Respawn Entertainment, but left to go do their own game studio. And so, this morning, they did a 25-minute long presentation that basically explained the premise of their game, how it works, etc. I reacted to that on today's Level 1 podcast. I also talked a little bit more about RimWorld and things like that that have been going on in the schedule. And then we jumped right...
What he meant to say there was he talked about wage quitting RimWorld and justifying why he's continuously wage quits games. In the last, week and a half, he's wage quit, 3 or 4 games? Off the top of my head, RimWorld, Arc Raiders, and High Guard. Now, High Guard is straight garbage. I get that. I understand why you would quit that, but you still wage quit it because people weren't supporting it. At midway, you were so... And the other thing, Phil, is you're so terrible at the game. About an hour in, you realize how bad you are at these shooter games, at these kind of Overwatch-style games, and you were just looking for a lifeline for people to, to allow you to wage quit the game. You were. You were at like $120 in support, which is decent for you, right? But yet you were still sitting there like, oh, I don't think this game is support memento. And according to your business logic, Phil, you say that if you have the 3 things, support engagement and whatever the fuck the other one is, right? You would play games. You got that for High Guard. For High Guard, you got that. You got all 3. You hit your goal. You made over $150. There were tons of viewers there, many of them watching you, be garbage. And you got plenty of engagement. Engagement, views, and support. There you go. You got all 3. So by your logic, Phil, if you're being earnest and you're being true and you're not lying to people like your viewers, and you're a principled person, you would play High Guard again. But of course, we know you're not because you're straight garbage at the game.
Right into High Guard. Today, I played High Guard for just about 3 hours, okay? I used 4 of the 8 wardens, which is really heroes in any other game is what you would call them, but in this game, they're called wardens. I probably played 4 or 5 different matches because one character I used twice because I actually liked him so much the first time. I did a second match later on in the stream where I tried him out again. And basically, the thing is, I don't really want to talk too much about it in the daily wrap because guess what? I made a special video explaining my thoughts on this game. It is live right now on the channel. It's only about 10 minutes long, 11 minutes. And basically what I did is I broke down the game in all detail, my full thoughts on it, etc. And I think that you'll really enjoy it if you give it a look. All right, so I certainly hope that you will, and that you will enjoy that video because it is serving as essentially my review after having played the game for about 3 hours. All right, so if you want my thoughts on High Guard, check out that video. That's live right now on the channel and is...
First of all, Phil, not that I'm going to defend High Guard because it is, I played it and I think it's garbage. I think it's more garbage because it's new. I think if they tweak it, they modify it a bit, they fix some of the bugs and some of the problems, it could be a serviceable game, right? So, if I'm being honest and I'm doing a review on it, I would say I don't like it right now. But the bones are pretty solid. You know what I mean? The connections were good. The matches were pretty good. The FPS was good. The ping was good. Matchups were quick. The game did what it was supposed to do, right? I think it still needs to be polished a little bit more. And they need to change the meta of the game just, a little bit. You know what I mean? I think if they just change it up a little bit. The concept, though, is pretty unique. and interesting. I just didn't find it compelling enough for me to continue playing the game, right? That would be my first initial review of it, but I wouldn't be sitting there doing a 10-minute video calling the game out. Like, you're just farming for views, Phil, for ad revenue. I guess you need those $2 or whatever it is you're gonna get that video. But if you really want to be earnest, Phil, you'd play it a few times, even offline. Play it a few times. Apparently, from what you claim, Fat Cat's still there. Why don't you get Fat Cat to come in and play the game for a little bit? She seems to like overwatching those type of games. So let her get your thoughts. Let her get her thoughts in there. I'm pretty sure she's not there, but still, let's play the LARP here. Let's play the LARP with Phil that he's a happily successful human style human. So we'll continue that LARP with Phil. All right, so let's keep going.
Actually, my highlighted video on the channel right now. Okay, fair enough. Cool. So how did the stream go? Great attendance, great engagement, great support. Like, no exaggeration. We had, I think, between 300 to 400 viewers on YouTube alone, and then on top of that, we had more viewers on Kick. So it's actually one of my highest attended streams in a long time because everyone was curious if this game was any good. Engagement was great. Everyone was talking about the game all day. What do you think of this? Comparing it to this. And then support, great. I don't even have a complaint. So it was absolutely a great stream. I'm glad that I did a first look at the game. If you want an answer, gee, would I play it again? What did I think? Check out the special video I made. Okay?
You don't need to check out the video. He's not playing it again. He's not playing it again because he's straight fucking garbage. Even though he hit his 3 metrics for a successful stream, he's still not going to play it because he's straight garbage. The other effect, too, is that you had trolls in there matching up with him, making fun of him, which, of course, he doesn't like. And apparently the chat thing doesn't work. Like, you can shut the chat off, but as soon as the match is over, it turns the chat on like it does like a group chat or whatever. So anyone can say anything. So, of course, detractors or trolls were fucking with him and asking him, does he play with his wee-wee and all this stuff. And he got butthurt and sad. That's the real reason why he didn't play this game. He's not going to continue playing this game. He's not good at it. He's terrible. He had viewership, but most of it were LARPers and trolls. LARPers and trolls. And when he says he had great viewership, we're talking about 250 people watching it on YouTube. I guess for Phil, that's great numbers, but 250 is straight garbage. I mean, I get double that on most of my streams. And all I'm doing is just sitting there and mocking this locale.
Cool. After that, I did DSP Tries It, Panda Express. It was the first time that I had eaten Panda Express food in over 20 years. So it was a interesting DSP Tries It, to say the least. That is currently live right now over on my DSP Reacts channel. That's at DSP Reacts on YouTube. So I hope you'll give that a look. Great to get a new episode out for the end of the month. It wasn't great. Anyway.
Yeah, just like your fucking review wasn't great. Again, all he's doing is he's doing... The only reason why he's doing Feasting with the Pig is because that's the only content that's going on his React channel. And yes, he's still charging $5.99 for memberships for that dead-ass channel. And yes, he still has a few members that still pay. He still has a couple mega supporters that pay $20, Slayer and probably Jade or whatever. So, it's just a justification for him to continue charging those outrageous fucking membership fees for a channel that literally gives you nothing. Like, look, I don't mind people monetizing their channel. I really don't. I don't even mind when detractors monetize it. You know me, I'm a big supporter of detractors make that money, right? But I mean, if you're going to monetize your content, at least give something, you know what I mean? Like, it's really funny. Like, there's certain people, and I'm not going to mention any names, there's certain people that criticize me for monetization ads, right? But yet, their channel's up. They barely do any content at all. They don't post clips. They probably stream maybe once every 3 or 4 months, and then got the nerve to charge $5 for a membership. It's like, come on, dude. You don't even give your community any money. Now, most people are smart enough not to give memberships to that channel, but still, it's kind of like, all right, do something. You know what I mean? If you're clipping, if you're providing comment, do something. You know what I mean? And it's funny because most people say, well, if you're gonna, if you're gonna shit on Phil and detract on Phil, you should not be as bad as Phil, right? Right? Is that the prevailing thought in the snore text? You know what I mean? You shouldn't be as shitty as the person you're shitting on, right? So, you know, it's just something that's really weird. So, on Phil's side, to go back to Phil, he's literally charging $5 for memberships for a channel that literally gets one video maybe once a week, if that. Really, I mean, before I guess he could justify it when he was doing politics and WWE. You know, he was giving some content. I mean, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 4 to 5, 6 videos a month. He's not even doing that. He's probably doing maybe 2 videos now, and it's feasting with the pig. It's feasting with the pig. Really, and again, that's not React content, Phil. That's you stuffing your face and expecting people to give you money for it. And it's pretty pathetic. Anyway, I'm gonna stop it here because I think I've gone on pretty long ripping this butthole, his asshole a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna get more of this, folks. We're gonna get more of this now that the support's pretty much all but dried up. No games. He's gonna get desperate. He's gonna get really desperate with support. The other thing that I wanted to say is I knew that I was supposed to do a podcast today. My apologies. I just couldn't do it. I got some crap to do at 11:30, and I didn't want to shortchange the stream. So I am streaming tomorrow at 9:30. It'll be a long show. It'll be at least a 3-hour show, folks. So please be there. And yeah, that's about it, folks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.